Hello students, today we are going to continue with the session on natural selection and evolutionary force in the process of speciation and evolution. In the last class and sessions we have learnt about the concept of natural selection, the components that is involved in natural selection, and the types of natural selection with the suitable examples. In today's session, we are going to understand the MCQs related to the concept of natural selection. The first MCQ is: a mutation is any change in the dash of a gene or a chromosome. So when we think about mutational concept of a gene or a chromosome, it is made up of the DNA unit, that is nucleotides. So answer is A, DNA. Question 2. The theory of natural selection was proposed by Charles Darwin, who is considered to be the father of evolution. So the concept is given by Darwin, so answer is B, Darwin. Question 3. Observation of a species on dash heavily inspired by Darwin's theory of evolution, that is natural selection concept. So to which particular islands does Darwin visit and studied about the finches? It is Galapagos Islands, so answer is D, Galapagos Islands. The next concept, under sexual selection, the sexual dimorphism is an example. So the answer is, for the concept of sexual dimorphism, the answer is C, sexual selection. Now, the mind boosting and mind triggering concept. Here is an example, and we will have to find what type of selection it is of. The concept is: a population of giraffes lives in a forest with the trees of varying heights. Following a flood in the area, all short plants were destroyed. Only tall trees were left out. So after many generations, it is noted that giraffes living in this forest have longer necks on an average than giraffes living in the same forest prior to the flood. So what type of selection it is? So it is directional selection. Answer is D. Reason is that in directional selection of the two extremities, two ends of a character, only one end will be selected by the nature. So natural selection enforces on one particular characteral extremity. So here only the long neck giraffes are selected by the nature, and hence it is an example of directional selection. The next question also boosts up our mind. White mice are homozygous. Please concentrate the question. White mice are homozygous for a recessive pigmentation trait. So it means recessive individuals are white in color. They have homozygous genotype, obviously. Brown mice are homozygous for dominant. So we have brown and white pigmentation of the mice. Both are two extremities now. So brown is dominant, white is recessive for the same pigmentation of the trait. The beige mice or heterozygous for the trait. That is combination of brown and white is the beige color. So it is heterozygous. This is the condition. Now, in a particular ecosystem of natural selection favors only the beige mice because they blend with the brush and the leaves, the content over there. So what concept explains to this type of selection? So heterozygous individuals are selected. This is called as heterozygote advantage. Okay, of the four answers, heterozygote advantage is the answer exactly because it's the middle stabilization concept. Okay. Next question 7. Genetic diversity decreases and the individuals at the center of the curve have higher feats. So what kind of selection it is? It is stabilizing selection because the middle character or the trait is in the peak level of the curve. What type of natural selection is this? When a group of deer migrated to a cold mountain, the thin-furred deer and average-furred deer dies, whereas the thick-furred deer survived eventually. The population became thicker furred there. So what kind of selection it is? Only one extremity is selected, so answer is B, directional selection. Okay. The 9th question. Why did the population of peppered moths in England change from light to dark after the Industrial Revolution produced a lot of pollution? So what was the reason for the dark moths to have more of population than the lighter one? A. Light moths were easy to see against sooty trees and were eaten up by their predators. So answer is A. B is not, because it says light moths were killed by the soot. No, soot cannot kill a moth. And birds that ate dark moths were killed by soot. No, predators were also not affected. And dark moths were produced by the industrial process. They did not produce, but the nature has selected the darker moths which were already present in the nature. So answer is A. And the last question is, artificial selection it's a selection done by the human beings and makes a particular group of organisms to live and die based on the traits that the human beings select. So answer remains A, because human beings are involved in the selection process. Sorry, we have few more questions. What type of natural selection is this? Small turtles are too weak to protect themselves from the predators. Large turtles are too slow to hide from the predators. So both are not selected. Average sized turtles have high fitness. Which type of selection it is? It is stabilizing selection because the middle peak is selected by the nature. 12th question. Human babies don't do well, mean to say they will not be normal if they are born too small. And if they are born too big, complications can occur during the birth. So too small and too big variety, mean to say size, babes are not selected by the nature. Body size should then be selected for by which method here? So it is again stabilizing method because in between character is selected by the nature. So with that we are completing the MCQs related to natural selection. Students, here the outcome of The concept is, we have learnt about, I'm sorry, I've retained the concept of mutation here. No, we have learnt about the role of natural selection in the process of speciation. And the references includes web references of Wikipedia and Britannica.com, and book references includes Organic Evolution by Veerabala Rastogi and Cell Biology, Genetics, Molecular Biology, Evolution, Ecology by Verma and Agarwal. Thank you all students. Take care of your good health during this pandemic time. Your queries and comments, please post them to my personal WhatsApp number, or even you can call me by using my personal number. Thank you all students.